Yo, what up, Illuminous? I'm in the car. It's after work. It's like 7 p.m. It's Tuesday. It's March the 10th, 2020. I want to talk to you guys about a little bit of a book I read today by Dr. Joe Dispenza. The book is called How to Break the Habit of Being Yourself. And in the book talks a lot about brain waves and, delta, theta, beta, alpha, and basically explains that you want to take advantage of those brain waves, right? So there's brain waves that go slower, and that happens when we sleep. When we sleep and when we're waking up and when the brain waves are going slower, I like to call it the slow-mo flow, then it's easier for your brain to reach out and grab things on the quantum field. What the quantum field is any reality that is possible in existence. So if you want to change your personality, if you want to change who you are as a person, meaning, in comparison to that, you would change your environment and everything about your life. But first, in order to change your life and the things in your life and what your life is, you have to change yourself on the inside, right? So we have to reach out in the quantum field and pull the selves out of us, out of that reality that we want to be living in. That's all what we're trying to do. The book talks about how you can take yourself off that quantum field, the self that you want, is to look at the self that you're presenting to the world. Like right now, I'm presenting myself to you guys, the world in general. When I'm out here talking and speaking and just living my life, I'm presenting myself, right, to the external world, which is you guys. And so there's a certain person that I'm reflecting off to the world, and then that's like the top of my hand, and then the bottom of the hand is what is inside, what your actual thoughts about yourself are, the emotions that you're feeling, the experiences that you went through, who you actually are, and what you're trying to actually, you may be thinking one thing in your head but saying another out loud. That's what you're thinking in your head is here, what you're saying out loud is here. This is what's happening on the internal. This is what's happening on the external. So basically, there's a gap between who we are on the inside and who we present ourselves to the external outside. And the book is saying we need to close that gap because it'll make us happier when we are presenting our true ideal image, through harmony of mind and being okay with being ourselves and being able to express ourselves. Because you may be okay with being yourself, but what if you don't know how to express yourself because you're stuck in these everyday habits that you're stuck in and you don't know why? You don't know that there's an emotional charge behind everything that you're doing. You don't know how it happened. You just woke up one day and all you know is that your life isn't the way that you want it to be and you want to change it. The book is saying how you can do that is by controlling the wavelengths, controlling the quantum field, and pulling that self out of you is through meditation. When you meditate, when you start going through meditation and you close your eyes, you take away the external environment. When I close my eyes right now, I'm not looking at everything in front of me. So I take 90% of the external world away from me when I close my eyes. So first of all, just by closing your eyes, you're going more subconscious. Boom, you're closer to your subconscious right now, just by closing your eyes. Sometimes when I pitch at my job, I close my eyes so I can envision that person in front of me, for example. But really, slowing down your breath when you do meditate. And the book was saying to do two things. You got to look at yourself as an observer, right? When you're a boxer or you're a baseball batter or any sort of sport, let's just say boxing, we'll stick with boxing. You're a boxer and you want to get better at fighting. How do you do that? Well, you can't just train all day. You can, but what if you got to look at your footage of your fights. So what boxers do is they look at themselves in previous fights. They watch themselves they watch themselves doing boxing. They watch themselves box. So they're not doing the boxing while they're watching. They're just watching themselves box, and they're seeing what they did right and what they did wrong. So we're doing the same thing with meditation. We're looking at ourselves, but you gotta do it from memory, of course, because you're meditating, and you gotta do it from memory because you can't record what you're thinking in your mind. So you go back and you take that same analogy of looking at your previous boxing match, right? But you're looking at a mistake you made. Let's say you got angry and you don't know why you blew up. You don't know how how you can control yourself, how you can be less of an angry person, or maybe you're sad and you're depressed and you want to stop being depressed. Well, when you're meditating, you envision the self that you're already being and you see what's wrong. You see what you're doing wrong. You observe yourself just like you do with a boxing tape. And then you also transition into, now what do you want to be? Okay, because the mind, the frontal lobe right here, what it does is when we decide we want to do something, we want to solve a problem, even a math problem, or anything in life, you want to solve a problem like making money or being happy, right? Or finding a better job. That the frontal lobe goes in your brain for your past experiences and what you know. So your experience and your knowledge is what your frontal lobe is getting. That's where your answers come from. Your experience and the knowledge that you have read or picked up through hearing from somebody. You know, all the little bits of any book that you've read, it's stored in your brain. Any conversation you've had, it's stored in your brain. Any experience you've had, good or bad, it's stored in your brain. So when you say, who do I want to be? I want to change my life and I want to become something better. When you start visualizing, your brain is actually searching inside of another part of your brain and looking at all of your experience, your prior experiences and your prior knowledge that you've read upon, or you just, learned from someone, the stuff that you remember most, and it gives you an answer through that. So the book was also saying that knowledge is a precursor to experience. Okay, so when you learn something, you're almost getting a hint of a situation you're going to run into in the future because you're tapping into that on the quantum field. If I'm reading about making money, for example, then I'm hinting in the future that I'm going to have an experience of making more money. Why? Because I'm putting that into existence. I'm putting the energy into it. So basically what I'm trying to get at, the exercise that I want you guys to take away from this video, that I want you to start doing, is taking 20 to 30 minutes every day to just relax your brain waves, slow them down. Slow down your brain waves. Not like I'm doing right now. Right now I'm in beta. I'm talking super fast. I'm going 100 miles per hour. I'm talking the complete opposite. When you're not watching YouTube, when you're all alone in the morning time or right before bed is preferable, because that way it's easier to go into the slow brain waves. Get into that slow brainwave state of mind. Close your eyes. Get away from all distractions. You don't even have a smell of food waft into your nose. You don't want anything from the external environment to take your focus away from what you're observing in your mind that you want to change and what you are visualizing that you want to turn into. Okay, that's the two things I want you to focus on when you're meditating and you're in that slow-mo flow of slow brain waves. I want you to focus on observing your past self and not judging yourself, but just noticing what's wrong, what's right, what you want to change, stuff like that, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself. You gotta love yourself, okay? Be your own best friend. And two, I want you to focus on, don't even worry about your experiences or what you know. Your brain's going to do that automatically for you. Visualize what you want to be like, what kind of life you want. That'll make you genuinely happy. And do it from a selfless point of view, right? Don't be selfish. That's the ego. That's actually the beta waves trying to make sense of life. Do it selfless. Just something that, don't think about the money. Don't think about the fame. Don't think about anything like that. Just think about what makes you happy, what you genuinely want your everyday life to be like, and really tap into what it feels like to be there. The emotion is what is going to hit key here. Emotion is the end result of an experience, okay? So remember I said knowledge is a precursor to experience. Emotion is the end result of an experience. So the knowledge that you learn will hint into the future, what you will experience in the future, and what emotions you will feel after that experience. I hope you guys got some golden nuggets out of this, as Tai Lopez loves to say. Check out Tai Lopez and his 67 steps if you haven't already. If you want a summary of that, I actually can email it to you. Just comment your email down below and I'll send you an email of Tai Lopez's 67 steps program, completely a 10-page summary. And if you want to know where to get this book, it's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's called How to Break the Habit of Being Yourself. Another book I read right before this book that is a good precursor, vocabulary word of the day, precursor. A good precursor to the book How to Break the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza is a book by Chad Hemchitter. I don't know. His name's Chad. Okay, look up the book. The title is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. That book is much simpler than How to Break the Habit of Being Yourself. There's really no exercises. It just talks about what to say when you talk to yourself. Or if you don't feel like reading an entire book, I actually have a video about this I uploaded 2 videos ago. It's titled the exact same thing, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. You can watch that video as well and listen to a 10-minute explanation. Actually, the video 7. I hope you guys got some knowledge out of this. If you did, drop me a comment. Make sure you like it, dislike it, share it, don't share it, do whatever you want. But whatever you do, be the version of you that makes you happy. All right, Illuminists, be happy, shine your light on the darkness, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace and love.